What sort of society have we become? That's the question so many of us are asking after a 23-year-old was gang raped in a moving bus in South Delhi. She was beaten for an hour and a half and is now critical in hospital. Her intestines badly damaged. Her friend, also beaten up, was then thrown out of the bus at 10:30 at night with her. They were found stunned, traumatized and seriously hurt near a flyover. The police have identified 4 men, but no arrests have been made yet. They're also monitoring CCTV footage collected from the area where the two boarded the bus and from where they were thrown off. Sketches of suspects have been prepared based on the description shared by the victim's friend. Her trauma, of course, causing outrage around the country.
मुझे ट्रांसपोर्ट डिपार्टमेंट ने बताया है कि उनका लाइसेंस तुरंत कैंसिल कर दिया गया है। इसका अलावा जो उचित कार्रवाई वो करनी पड़ेगी, सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई, न केवल इस व्हाइट लाइन बस के ऊपर, लेकिन फ्यूचर में भी ऐसे कुछ कांड न हो, इस तरह के हादसे न हो पाए, इस पे भी हम देखेंगे।
Right, this is what we're looking at this evening. Joining me in the studio, Dr. Kiran Bedi, former IPS officer, also Flavia Agnes, women's rights lawyer, joining me this evening from Mumbai. My colleagues Maya Sharma in Bangalore and Solal Mehrotra here in Delhi also with us. Dr. Bedi, first to you. You know, after any such incident, one sort of like outrages all of us. So shakes something in all of us. We hear comments like that we will ensure that something like this doesn't happen again. Yet, it becomes a statistic and it is repeated over and over again. Why?
You know what? There's a fundamental right for a woman's mobility. Any woman who does not get right to safe mobility is actually denied of her basic fundamental rights. I would now, you see, every time you have an incident like this, we have an outcry saying rapist, death for penalties. I'm looking at prevention. I would say, why don't we prevent? And there are two people who are perpetrating this crime, two segments. One is the social segment, which is the family and the our system. Second is the prevention plan of the police.
Where does that
Crime
lack?
Prevention plan by the police.
Where does that lack? Because that's been the focus so much, like we've seen in recent years. And we've spoken about it at length.
I think that's clearly lagging. Because, first of all, look, a camera is helping us look. Technology is helping us locate the bus. Why don't we make the bus license conditional to a camera inside every bus? It prevents, it eliminates, it deters, right? It may still happen, but it deters, right? Secondly, is why don't we have mobility crime being checked on the wheels? We are looking at, we normally our traditionally mindset is that we look at crime statically. Why don't we, a lot of crime happens while on the move.
Right.
Are we doing surprise bus checking?
We're sort of limited to maybe behind closed doors in the four walls. But you're saying,
are we
look
doing
at
randomized bus checking? See, randomized bus checking is very, very critical. Third, are we increasing our policing post-sunset? Because a lot of this crime does not happen during the day.
Right.
It happens exceptionally. But most of it looks for the dark.
In the dark.
In the dark. So why should we not increase this randomized checking post-sunset, post 10 p.m., post 9 p.m. when it is winter? Now, these things, even if they're happening, is it making news? Because if it was happening, it would have been people's perception.
Right.
Do people recognize?
Are we hearing?
Fourth, why can't a PCR van, you might say, I don't have men. I don't have men and women. Look, your PCR vans could be used exactly for this. Randomized checking. Stop any bus by surprise. Do a randomized checking.
The element of surprise there. Do not wait for the incident to happen. Ma'am, also the focus on the fact that do we have enough deterrence in place? What makes people think that they can commit crimes like this? Really sadistic crime. She was beaten for 90 minutes after being gang raped and get away with it. Do we need harsher penalties for rapists?
Well, I don't think harsher penalty is going to solve the problem. And I think we've just had a recent judgment of the Supreme Court which has focused on public places, particularly the buses, the trains, the railway stations, the bus stands, where the court has said there have to be helplines, there have to be monitoring, there have to be patrolling, policing, etc. Now, how seriously are we taking this? Because if this can happen in the capital city, if this can happen in Delhi, then you can imagine what happens in other states where the infrastructure is not as good as Delhi. Bombay and Delhi are supposed to be safe, good cities with infrastructure. And if that infrastructure fails the victim, I think it's a very sad state of affairs.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.